session for the Clinton County Legislature for Wednesday, April 12th, to order. Would you please rise and join me in the pledge of allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Zerlo, would you please conduct a roll call?
Mr. Castine.
Present.
Mr. Bazzaio.
Here.
Mr. Pohl.
Here.
Mr. Henry.
Here.
Mr. Hughes.
Here.
Mr. Kretzer.
Here.
Mr. Fourier.
Here.
Mr. Potiker.
Here.
Mr. Timmons.
Here.
Ms. Waldron.
Here.
You have a quorum, sir.
Excellent. All legislators have received a copy of the minutes for March 22nd, regular session. If there are no additions, deletions, or corrections, I'll take a motion to accept the minutes. Motion, Legislator Hall. Second, Legislator Kretzer. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried. I will now recognize anyone in the audience or group that wishes to address the legislature with their thoughts and concerns. Please raise your hand if you wish to be recognized. Okay, I have 2, 3. If you wish to be recognized, when you get to the podium, please state your name and address for the record. And in accordance with the rules of orders, all speakers and groups will be limited to 5 minutes. And if you'd like to go, who would ever like to go first? Yes.
We're tag teaming here. My name is Kathy Sager, and I am the president of Plattsburgh Cares. My home address is 215 Champlain Drive, Plattsburgh, New York. Plattsburgh Cares is a not-for-profit organization with a mission to assist immigrants and others in our community to achieve their goals safely and responsibly. I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity to speak to you about a significant challenge facing this county and community. According to the Canadian government website, in the year 2022, nearly 40,000 asylum seekers use Roxham Road as the pathway into Canada. When we got the word that the US and Canada expanded the Safe Third Country Agreement, shutting down all irregular crossings into Canada, we became very concerned about the possible fallout. Travelers would not be able to enter Canada at Roxham Road and would be directed back from the Canadian port of entry when they failed to meet one of the few exceptions. And here we are now. Beginning on Saturday, March 25th, we assisted nearly 60 men, women, and children who were returned from Canada to the Mountain Mart bus station in Plattsburgh, which closes at 10 p.m. This does not include the calls we have received reporting travelers stranded on rural roads. Travelers arrive at Mountain Mart at all hours of the day and night without the resources to provide for their basic needs, let alone the language skills to understand what is happening to them or a plan for what happens next. In essence, they are stranded, desperate, confused, depleted, and often traumatized by their circumstances.
Good evening. I'm Janet McFetridge from Champlain, New York. Regardless of the reason for leaving their home countries, people on the move must be treated with dignity and respect. Their journey began with a hope for a better life, and those arriving in our area believed that that would be in Canada. The sudden closing of the irregular crossing at Roxham Road meant that refugees are finding themselves stranded at a gas station in Plattsburgh. Alone, isolated, without the support of family and friends, and penniless. The challenge is that we have some very vulnerable people, nearly invisible, temporarily among us, who are struggling to survive. Allow me to put a face on some of those humans. The first day of the Roxham closure, a friend found a woman sitting alongside the West Service Road in Champlain. This road parallels the Northway. She had been turned back to the American Port of Entry and then told to walk down the road. She was lost and terrified. A week ago, I received a call that a large group of refugees was at Mountain Mart with no money and no idea of what to do. I drove down and I met 2 families from Colombia and several men from Georgia, the country, not the state. I gave stuffed animals to the children, which occupied them while I spoke to the parents. The mothers were crying, the fathers were worried, and everyone was hungry and cold. The following weekend, a family of 5 arrived from Turkey. They had lost their home in the recent earthquake. Because they have a cousin in Canada, they thought they could settle there, but they were denied entry and turned back. Now they were sitting scared in a Plattsburgh gas station with few resources and no hope. It's hard to hate someone up close. It is difficult to walk away from a hungry toddler. It's difficult to walk away from a mother sobbing as she hugs her children tightly. It is difficult to walk away from a father who says he only wants to work to support his family, and now he has failed. I look around this room, and I see the leaders. I see the problem solvers. You are the connectors, and you are the innovators, the helpers. I see this as an opportunity for all of us to be our best selves and work together with other similar thinkers to address these needs. I understand budgets and line items and lack of funds dedicated to emergencies like this. I understand that this is a federal problem, but I also understand that this is a crisis of humanity and it is in our backyard. Right now, we all need to show up. Clinton County has always helped and helps people in need, and I believe that we have the ability, once again, to address the situation together. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I didn't miss anybody else over here, did I? Okay, excellent. Who's next?
Aaron Fong, 230 Golf Course Road, Civil Forks, New York, 12912. I put my stopwatch on because I want to comment on this on a county issue, or county level. But first, I'm here because once again, apparently we lost another great law enforcement officer in this county. Doesn't matter who they are. In fact, if you're willing to put on a badge, either to defend us in a jail or out the road, is a travesty, it's a tragedy. It really bugs me as a taxpayer. So the legislature, the last time I was up here, you guys can't do anything about your deputy head or your department heads. Mr. Henry doesn't talk to me this time. So with that said, what can you do? You govern this county. Each and every one of you, all 10 of you were elected by the taxpayers in this county to do a job. These people in these departments have done their job with dignity and diligence and honor. I'm asking you to do yours. This is ridiculous to lose people. There are a ton of vacancies in this county, not just the sheriffs. There are a ton of vacancies. Ask yourselves why. Is it bad deputy or departments, excuse me, I keep saying deputy. Is it bad department heads? Is that what the issue is? What is the issue? I'm asking you to find out. If you say you can't do anything to a department head, open up an investigation. You must be able to do that. Do something. Look into this. These are not baseless claims. These are not jump on the bandwagon claims, okay? I could see if there was 3 or 4, but you mean to tell me that all of these claims together, there's no validity to these? Some of these have been found to be proven, whether it be by HR complaints or court complaints, whatever. I keep looking at this data, this information. Do the same. You're elected to do a job. Do it. Do it for your taxpayers. We saw a decrease in population. You don't quite have 80,000 now in this county. Do it for the other 79,000 that are here that pay for this county. This county is a great county. It really is. Make it great. Keep it great. Do your job. 5 of you are up for election this year. Maybe we need to look at electing different officials if that's the recourse. Inaction is not action. So I'm asking you, please, look into it. If you say you can't, I know there's something you can do. You're definitely covered, that's why we elect you. You preside over it. And if not, what are you guys, financial officers, is that all you do? Just tell me. Is it just budgetary, is that all you do? No, you're policymakers. We elect you to legislate this county. Please, look into this. Look into all your departments. Find out what's going on. Find out why you're filling vacancies every month. I understand there's some economic things, but other than that, there's gotta be more to this. Do your job. I'm gonna touch on this real quick. This immigrant thing. So I'm the first-born generation of Chinese immigrant. My father came over here with his younger sister. They came over in pairs. They did it legally. I'm very proud of that. My family came from nothing in China. They've seen communist oppression. They lived it. And what they wanted to do was come to America. Give us your tired, your poor, your wretched masses. They did it legally. I understand this may be a humanitarian crisis, and I understand you're just a county. This is a federal issue, as this lady pointed out. But the greater issue with this is, these people need to have a broader understanding, no matter what language they are, no matter where they come from, Georgia, China, Colombia. You don't go anywhere without a plan. We don't go on vacation without a plan. Stop coming here, okay? It is ridiculous with these immigrants. It really is. My family did it the correct way. Millions of everybody's families did it the correct way. Everybody in here probably, unless you're 100% Native American. Our families came from overseas. Most of them probably did it legally, do it legally. Because the taxpayers in Clinton County are overburdened now with property taxes. We cannot afford these programs. We can't afford to pay livable wages to county employees now as it is. Granted, there was a 2-step increase, but when the county benefits go up and the cost of living goes up, I know it's not your problem. But once again, budgetary, legislative, please don't spend any more county money on this issue. Push up the ladder. Push up to your state senator, push up to your assemblyman, okay, for the state stuff, and push up to Elise Stefanik, your congresswoman. But don't spend any money on this issue. Thank you for the 5 minutes, I appreciate it. Like I said, do your job, they've done theirs. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Thank you all very much for your comments. We will now go to committee reports. I will ask the chairman of each committee to I'll ask the chairperson of each committee to provide us with a report, starting with Buildings and Grounds. Legislator Pizzata.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Buildings and Grounds Committee meeting scheduled for Monday, April 10th was canceled. James Cleveland, the Superintendent of Buildings and Grounds Department, reported on Friday, April 7th. Witten Construction LLC began the stucco removal from the lounge wall at the Department of Social Services. This project is expected to take approximately 2 to 3 weeks. Mr. Cleveland also reported he anticipates the roof projects approved within the energy efficiency project will begin on Thursday, June 1st, with the Surrogate Building and Probation Building being the first on the list. The next Buildings and Grounds Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, May 8th at 4 p.m. and a report.
Thank you very much. I'll just make mention, you may already know this, but you can leave at any time. We've got quite a bit to do, so don't feel badly if you're walking out. We understand. We won't take it personally. We won't. Thank you. Children and Family Services, Legislator Potter.
Thank you, Chairman. The Children and Family Services Committee met on Tuesday, April 4th. Christine Peters, the Commissioner of the Department of Social Services, was present to discuss several resolutions, including authorizing contract with Westside Ballroom and authorizing contract with Cornell Cooperative Extension of Clinton County. Ms. Peters also discussed monthly statistics, provided an update on the immigrants at the border, and an update on the city motel and the homeless population. Resolutions 254 through 259 have been placed on the agenda as a result of the committee's recommendations. The next Children and Family Services Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Tuesday, May 2nd at 5:15 p.m. End of report.
Thank you. Economic Development, County Operations, Legislator Wall.
Yes, Mr. Chair. The Economic Development and County Operations Committee met earlier. David Randall, the Director of Information Technology, was present to discuss the resolution authorizing contract with the New York State Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Services. Glenn Cutter, the Planning Director, was also in attendance to provide a department update. Molly Ryan, the Director of Economic Development, provided project updates and presented the resolutions, rescinding resolution number 90 dated February 8th, 2023, titled Proposed Zoning Plan in the Town of Plattsburgh, and authorizing the county treasurer to transfer funds for the capital project titled Former County Airport Infrastructure Project. Resolutions 260 through 263 have been placed on the agenda as a result of the committee's recommendation. Resolutions number 340 under Waive Rule 13.2 has also been placed on the agenda. The next Economic Development and County Operations Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, May 10th at 4 p.m. End of report.
Thank you, ma'am. Finance, Legislator Timmons.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the Finance Committee met on Wednesday, April 5th. Kimberly Davis, the County Treasurer, was present to discuss the 2023 sales tax chart and MREM foreclosure. The Legislature was also provided with the 2023 tobacco settlement proposals for the review. Resolution 264 titled Authorizing Contract with Barton & Judas, EPC, for preparation of biannual update to the local solid waste management plan has been placed on the agenda as a result of the committee's recommendation. The committee was also pulled on resolution 265. The next Finance Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, May 3rd at 5:15 p.m.
Thank you, sir. Health Committee, Legislator Hughes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Health Committee met on Wednesday, April 5th. Michelle Gregory, the Director of Community Services, was in attendance to discuss resolutions authorizing contract amendment with Behavioral Health Services North, Inc., and authorizing contract with Viral Gorodia, MD. Jeff Sisson, the Director of Public Health, was present to discuss several resolutions, including authorizing climate change and health adaptation, project grant acceptance, and authorizing women, infants, and children grant application and acceptance. Kevin Wood and Pat Kane of DEC were also present to further discuss biosolids. Resolutions 266 through 273 have been placed on the agenda as a result of the committee's recommendation. The next Health Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, May 3rd at 4 p.m. End of report.
Thank you very much. Human Services, Legislator Perry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Human Services Committee meeting scheduled for Tuesday, April 4th was canceled. The committee was pulled on resolutions 274 and 275 on the agenda. The next Human Services Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Tuesday, May 2nd at 4:15. End of report.
Thank you very much. Personnel Committee. The Personnel Committee met on Monday, April 3rd. Kim Kinbaum, the Deputy County Administrator, was present to discuss resolutions authorizing contract with Discover eGov. Resolutions 276 through 298 have been placed on tonight's agenda as a result of the committee's recommendation. And the next Personnel Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, May 1st at 5 p.m. Plattsburgh International Airport, Legislator Hall.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Plattsburgh International Airport Committee has not met since the last regular session. The next Plattsburgh International Airport Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, April 26th at 4 p.m. End of report.
Thank you, sir. Public Safety, Legislator Castine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Public Safety Committee met on Monday, April 3rd. Sheriff David Favreau was present to discuss several resolutions, including authorizing police traffic service grant application and acceptance, authorizing child passenger safety program grant and acceptance. Sheriff Favreau also provided a northern border update, and further discussion was held on a resolution requesting legislation allowing former members of the New York State Police to be reinstated to a 209V position within Clinton County. Jamie Rock, the administrative assistant at the Child Advocacy Center, was also in attendance to discuss numerous resolutions, including authorizing stewards grant application and acceptance, and authorizing Lake Placid Education Foundation grant and acceptance. Jamie Martineau, the public defender, was present to discuss resolutions authorizing payment of membership dues, authorizing contract with New York State Defenders Incorporated. Resolutions 299 through 323 have been placed on the agenda as a result of the committee's recommendations. The next Public Safety Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, May 1st at 4 p.m. End of report.
Thank you, sir. For Transportation, Legislator Cretzer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Transportation Committee meeting scheduled for Monday, April 10th was canceled. The committee was polled on resolutions number 324 and number 326. The Transportation Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, May 8th at 5:15 p.m. End of report.
Thank you. Liaison reports, Board of Health, Legislator Potter.
Thank you, Chairman. The Board of Health has not met since the last regular session. The next Board of Health meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, April 17th at 7 p.m. and is open to the public. End of report.
Chamber of Commerce also, Legislator Potter.
Sure. The North Country Chamber STPC meeting has not met since our last regular session. Our next meeting for that is tentatively scheduled for May 18th at 9 a.m. End of report.
Thank you. Clinton Community College, Legislator Recital.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The Clinton Community College Board of Trustees met on March 28th, Tuesday. A few highlights. They are wrapping up the Middle States visit, which is their accreditation. And after a primary review, it appears that some improvement has been achieved over the last year, which is very positive. They have also had a large amount of events during the last 3 months, which has brought a large number of high school students to Clinton Community College to actually be inside the facility, which they feel is very positive. They still do not have a settlement on their contract, their labor contract with the professors, and there was a lengthy executive session at that end of report.
Thank you. Community Services Board, Legislator Castine.
No report, sir.
Cooperative Extension, Legislator Timmons.
Yes, I handed out pamphlet on everybody's spot there tonight. I asked Linda Gilliland to do a little what, where, and why we're at, and just if you have any questions, to give me a call or her a call, if anything that's on it, she's of interest.
Just for review agreements. Intercom, Legislator Walden.
No report. We'll be meeting in Essex County on the 27th of this month.
LCLG Planning Board, Legislator Hughes Fretzer.
Actually, we had a lengthy meeting yesterday here. They went over, they just received an audit, and they went over they two guys that did the audit there. They said what they performed under the audit. They went over what they're gonna do for their goals for the year and different grants they're looking at. Still, they want a better footprint in Clinton County. They asked, once again, if there's something that anybody, any of the towns up here or the county could, they could assist with, they would love to hear from them. And that's not the end of it. That's the end of the report.
Okay, thank you. Soil and Water, Legislator Timmons, for you.
No report.
Workforce Development Board, Legislator Cretzer.
No report.
Thank you. Staff members, Ms. Kelleher, will you have any?
No report.
No report. And Mr. Sherwood.
Very quickly, folks, I'd like to remind everybody, number one, to get their tobacco settlement reviews to Mr. Timmons, Chairman Timmons. I believe Mr. Paul was the first person to submit. Secondly, quick reminder, the Personnel Committee, tomorrow evening, 4 p.m. is Ms. Thayer's interview. And of course, other legislators are invited to attend should you be so inclined. Quick budget update, the state of New York has passed a second extender to keep state government running through April 17th. Nobody's really talking at this point, but I was told that the governor does not want to do a third extender, so we're hopeful that we have a budget by the 17th of April. Our big three issues, which is the enhanced FMAP, number one, as Mr. Corio told me this afternoon, the candle is still in the window, meaning we still have a little chance there. At the very least, we're hopeful that it doesn't affect our current year's budget, anything they do. Secondly, the in-rem foreclosure. Still trying to get get that removed from the budget discussion, as it has no fiscal impact on the state of New York, and there's some pending federal court cases that we would like adjudicated for that. And finally, is the 18D, and I'm told that there is, at least in discussion, a willingness for the state to pick up a portion of those increased expense to the 18D assigned council program. So there's your budget update. And finally, I'd like to request a very brief, I promise you, a very brief executive session to seek advice of council on a particular issue.
Okay. Thank you very much. That brings us to the resolutions. Before voting on the resolutions, I'd like to note that the resolutions have been thoroughly discussed by the appropriate committees, and the legislature is taking action tonight based in large part on the recommendations of those committees. Good night. Mr. Zerlo.
That was a very well timed take.
You're missing the best
You're
part.
missing a very boring.
Yeah, this is like really long.
Yes, Resolution 254, amending Resolution 175 dated March 8, 2023, titled Authorizing Out-of-State Travel Social Services.
Motion, legislator Potiker. Second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Resolution 255, authorizing contract with West Side Ballroom Social Services.
Motion, legislator Potiker. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 256, authorizing contract with Cornell Cooperative Extension of Clinton County Social Services.
Motion. Excuse me. Motion, legislator Potiker. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion.
Just very quickly, Rob, this is what we, Linda and I talked about during budget season. I contacted Mr. Redden and Ms. Peters, and this is a result of those conversations. So, a great program. I believe, Christine, that you really believe this is something that could benefit your youth population as well, correct?
Absolutely, I think this is gonna be a really great program.
She was very happy to get it.
Yeah, they're great.
I had a second on that, legislator Perrier. Rob, I'd like to have your name as a second on that. So that's seconded by legislator Perrier and Timmons. We've had our discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 257, authorizing enhanced adult protective services to respond to COVID-19 grant extension, social services.
Motion, legislator Potiker. Second, legislator Waldron. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 258, approving appointment to the Clinton County Youth Board, Youth Bureau.
Mr. Potiker, 5-5.
Yes, please.
5-5. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 259, authorizing application and acceptance of the Stewart's Holiday Match Grant, Youth Bureau.
Motion, legislator Potiker. Second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 260, amending resolution number 183 dated March 8, 2023, titled authorizing contract with NTS Data Services LLC, Board of Elections.
Motion, legislator Waldron. Second, legislator Castleton. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 261, opposing passage of Conservation Subdivision Design Bill, Assembly Bill 4608.
Motion, legislator Waldron. Second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 262, authorizing contract with the New York State Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Services, Information Technology.
Motion, legislator Waldron. Second, legislator Potiker. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 263, rescinding resolution number 90 dated February 8, 2023, titled opposing proposed zoning plan in the town of Plattsburgh, Legislature.
Motion, legislator Waldron. Second, legislator Henry. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 264, authorizing contract with Barton and LaJudas DPC for the preparation of the biennial update to the local solid waste management plan, Legislature.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Potiker. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 265, authorizing various ongoing contracts with Abstract Companies Treasurer's Office.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Hall. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 266, authorizing contract amendment with Behavioral Health Services North Incorporated, Mental Health and Addiction.
Motion, legislator Hughes, second, legislator Bazile. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 267, amending contract with Viral Veradia MD, Mental Health and Addiction.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Castine. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 268, authorizing the strengthen public health workforce and foundational capabilities grant application and acceptance, Health Department.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Waldron. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 269, authorizing climate change and health adaptation projects grant acceptance, Health Department.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Bazile. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 270, amending Resolution 935 dated December 14, 2022, titled Authorizing Various Ongoing Contracts for the Year 2023, Health Department.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Castine. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 271, authorizing out-of-state travel, Health Department.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Waldron. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 272, authorizing the Women, Infants, and Children Grant Application and Acceptance, Health Department.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Bazile. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Resolution number 273, authorizing breastfeeding, chest feeding, and lactation-friendly New York grant acceptance, Health Department.
Motion, legislator Hughes. Second, legislator Castine. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Resolution 274, amending Resolution 840 dated November 9, 2022, titled Authorizing Various Contracts for the Year 2023 Nursing Home.
Motion, legislator Perrier. Second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 275, authorizing payment of membership dues at nursing home.
Motion, legislator Perrier. Second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 276, approving backfill of permanent full-time correction officer, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hall. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 277, approving backfill of permanent full-time correction officer position, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Hall. Second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 278, approving backfill of permanent full-time correction officer position, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Kretzer. Second, legislator Timmons. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 279, approving backfill of permanent full-time correction officer position, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Hall. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 280, approving backfill of permanent full-time correction officer position, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Hall. Second, legislator Castine. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 281, approving the backfill of a permanent, part-time special patrol officer position, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Timmons. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 282, approving the backfill of a permanent full-time motor equipment operator 1, Highway Department.
Motion, legislator Kretzer. Second, legislator Hall. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 283, approving the backfill of a permanent full-time motor equipment operator 1, Highway Department.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 284, approving the backfill of a permanent full-time account clerk typist position, mental health and addiction.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Timmons. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 285, approving backfill of full-time airport laborer, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 286, approving backfill of permanent full-time social welfare examiner, social services.
Motion, legislator Kretzer, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 287, approving the backfill of a permanent full-time caseworker position, social services.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion and a second, sir.
I read that. Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Timmons. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
You're efficient. That was
We got a lot to do.
fast.
I'm trying to.
Throwing out my cadence.
That went really quick though.
Resolution 288, approving backfill of a permanent full-time caseworker position, social services.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 289, approving the backfill of a permanent full-time senior social welfare examiner, social services.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Timmons. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 290, approving the backfill of a permanent full-time women, infants, and children program coordinator, health department.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 291, approving the backfill of a permanent full-time public health educator position, health department.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 292, approving the backfill of a permanent full-time planning technician position, health department.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Hall. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 293, approving temporary on-call payments for environmental health staff for rabies emergencies, health department.
Motion, legislator Henry, second, legislator Hall. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Resolution 294, approving backfill of a permanent full-time services for the aging specialist position, office for the aging.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Timmons. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 295, approving backfill of permanent full-time senior typist position, legislative office.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Resolution 296, approving backfill of permanent full-time senior personnel associate position, personnel department.
Motion, legislator Kretzer, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 297, authorizing contract with Discover eGov personnel.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Timmons. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 298, approving extension of temporary full-time labor positions, highway department.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 299, authorizing child passenger safety program grant application and acceptance, sheriff's department.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 300, authorizing community-based traffic safety program grant application and acceptance, sheriff's department.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Perrier. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Resolution 301, authorizing police traffic services grant application and acceptance, sheriff's department.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Hall. Discussion. Roll call?
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 302, authorizing payment of membership dues, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hall. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 303, authorizing the purchasing agent to solicit bids for a high-volume, natural gas-powered tankless hot water heater and removal and installation service, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 304, authorizing contract with Health Direct Pharmacy, Kinney Drugs Incorporated, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 305, authorizing high visibility road check saturation patrols, DRE call out during impaired driving crackdowns, grant application and acceptance, stop DWI traffic safety.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 306, amending resolution number 28 dated January 11, 2023, titled authorizing contract with Spotless Janitorial LLC, Public Defender.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hall. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 307, authorizing payment of membership dues, Public Defender.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 308, authorizing contract with the New York State Defenders Association, Public Defender.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 309, authorizing payment of 2023 membership dues of District Attorney.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hall. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 310, authorizing Stewart's grant application and acceptance, District Attorney's Office Child Advocacy Center.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 311, authorizing the Uline Foundation grant application, District Attorney's Office Child Advocacy Center.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 312, authorizing Lake Placid Education Foundation grant application, District Attorney's Office Child Advocacy Center.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hall. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 313, authorizing the Essex Community Fund grant application, District Attorney's Office Child Advocacy Center.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 314, authorizing community fund for the Gore Mountain Region grant application, District Attorney's Office Child Advocacy Center.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 315, authorizing Excelis Blue Cross Blue Shield grant application, District Attorney's Office Child Advocacy Center.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hall. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 316, authorizing Clinton County Kinney Drugs Foundation grant application, District Attorney's Office Child Advocacy Center.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 317, authorizing fiscal year 2023 State Homeland Security Program application and acceptance, emergency services.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 318, authorizing emergency management performance grant application and acceptance for federal fiscal year 2023 emergency services.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hall. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 319, authorizing creation of threat assessment and management team emergency services.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 320, authorizing Adirondack Foundation grant acceptance, District Attorney's Office Child Advocacy Center.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 321, authorizing contract with Thomas Pickering Esquire, assigned counsel.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hall. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 322, authorizing the purchasing agent to solicit a request for proposals for professional legal services to handle family court assignments, assigned counsel.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed?
Resolution 323, requesting legislation allowing former members of the New York State Police to be reinstated to a 209V position within Clinton County Legislature.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion.
Just very quickly, Kim, I'll butcher this, so help me. Currently, if you are a New York State police officer, you are eligible to be hired, but you have to go through the normal civil service testing process, unlike if you were a member of other local police forces. So what this would do would be requesting legislation to allow these folks to be reinstated, i.e. being able to be hired in one of these 209V positions, absent the testing requirement within civil service.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 324, authorizing contract with Complete Property Management, Clinton County Public Transit.
Motion, legislator Kretzer. Second, legislator Bazzaio. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 325, amending Resolution 241, dated March 22, 2023, titled, awarding bid for the major bridge rehabilitation of the Union Falls Road Bridge over the Saranac River, bridge identification number 333-5670, highway.
Motion, legislator Kretzer. Second, legislator Hughes. I could not go forward without also adding legislator Walden as a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Excellent job.
Thank you.
Resolution 326, authorizing supplemental agreement number 1 with Barton and Lejunas DPC relative to the major rehabilitation of the Union Falls Road Bridge over the Saranac River. Bridge identification number 333-5670 and project identification number 7753.98, Highway Department.
Motion, legislator Kretzer. Second, legislator Walden. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walden?
Yes.
I'm getting tired. Resolution 327, authorizing the county treasurer to establish appropriation and corresponding revenue for the Clinton County Employment and Training Administration, employment and training.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Bazzaio. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 328, authorizing the county treasurer to increase appropriation and corresponding revenue for the rehabilitation of the Main Street Keysville Bridge over the Osable River Project, highway.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Resolution 329, authorizing the county treasurer to establish a capital project titled Wendell Energy Performance Project Legislature.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Bazzaio. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 330, authorizing the county treasurer to increase appropriation and corresponding revenue for the Clinton County Public Transit Program, Planning Department.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 331, authorizing the county treasurer to establish appropriation and corresponding revenue for the body worn camera grant, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Castine. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 332, authorizing the county treasurer to reappropriate 2022 funds for various accounts. Treasurer's office.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Potiker. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried. Resolution number 333, congratulating Walter Laramie on 25 years of service with the Rouse's Point Fire Department.
Mr. Castine, 5-5.
Yes, sir.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 334, congratulating Kevin, how do you say it, Calvin? Chagnon on 35 years of service with the Rouse's Point Fire Department.
Again, 5-5, Mr. Castine. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 335, congratulating Dennis Roberts on 40 years of service with the Rouse's Point Fire Department.
Again, 5-5 for Mr. Castine. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 336, congratulating Sally Smith on 60 years of service with the Rouse's Point Fire Department Auxiliary.
Shown 5-5, Mr. Castine. Discussion?
Yep, she started when she was 3 years old.
Who knew? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 337, appointing deputy county auditors for the year 2023 legislature.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Hall. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 338, appointing county purchasing agent legislature.
Motion, legislator Timmons. Second, legislator Waldron. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. That leads us to, I believe, our 13.2. Is that correct?
Correct.
May I request a motion to waive 13.2, legislator Hall motion, second by legislator Waldron. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. 13.2 is waived. Go ahead, sir.
Resolution number 339, approving home rule request for the New York State Senate Bill 4735A and Assembly Bill 5340A, legislature.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Henry. Discussion?
You recall that this similar resolution was withdrawn from a previous agenda item because the negotiations with the state legislature, they wanted the year changed, the authorization extension changed to 2 years as opposed to 3. Obviously, the hope was that this would be an omnibus piece that would be put in the state budget, and it does not look like that's happening, so we need to move forward with our request for the individual piece of legislation. And this is actually your approval of the actual legislation as this is a good one, sir.
Any further discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 340, authorizing the county treasurer to transfer funds for the capital project titled Former County Airport Infrastructure Project legislature.
Motion, legislator Timmons, second, legislator Castine. Discussion?
This is the last piece of required information for the EDA to sign off on the grant. It is essentially your approval of backfilling the local share of this project. Obviously, we still have several irons in the fire, hopefully to discount that, but this is the worst case scenario resolution required by the EDA.
Any questions, further discussion? All in favor?
No, sir.
Aye.
That's going to require a roll call vote.
Oh, it is?
Yes, that's.
Okay, you say so.
yes.
Roll call.
Yes.
Mr. Timmons? Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried. Any further resolutions? We could go back over all these again. Anything further to come before the legislature before I ask for executive session? May I have a motion for executive session? Motion by legislator Kretzer, second by legislator Hughes. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We are in executive session. Thank you. Executive session. Thanks all very much. Thank you. Any further?
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn by legislator Hall, second by legislator Waldron. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried? We are adjourned. Thank